How's it going, everyone? It's Ethan here at eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the RockyMounts GuideRail on our 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee. The GuideRail is a two-bike platform-style bike rack capable of supporting two bikes up to 60 pounds each, held primarily by these dual-wheel mounts on either side, which is nice because it avoids any frame contact. So if you were using a carbon frame bike or an alternative frame style bike, that would be good in this case. One thing I like about this rack is that it does have a pretty aggressive tilt. So as far as any of the racks we've tested today, this is the one that tilts the furthest away that I've seen, and it gives us plenty of clearance to get into our cargo area in the back of our car, and plenty of room back here in the event that you want to take a seat after your ride, change your shoes, or get something out of the back. So tilting our bike rack back up, you'll hear a click, and that's how you know it's in place. We'll go ahead and remove our mounts here. Just pull this back, slide it down. One of them's usually on there pretty good just to make sure that it's secure, but the other one will be a lot looser when you get to that point. Push them down and away, holding onto your bike the whole time just to make sure it doesn't move while you're doing it, and up and out. Go ahead and put this away, close this back up. Now's a good time to point out the cradles themselves. They support up to a 3-inch tire width and a wheelbase of 55 inches. Now we've got our bike off, it's a good time to go ahead and grab some measurements. So let's see how much distance we're adding on to the end of our vehicle here from the bumper to the furthest point out. It's about 28.5 inches. So honestly, not as long as some that we've seen today. And for ground clearance, there's a pretty significant rise in the shank plus the stadium style. So that comes in at about 24 inches. So you have about 2 feet of ground clearance, no issues there. To condense it even further, you're gonna go ahead and use the same blue lever as you were using before. Fold it up, and hear that click again. We'll go ahead and grab the new measurements to see how far we are extending out of the back now. It comes in at about 12 inches there, and as far as the closest distance to the bumper, you have about 2 inches, but it's in there securely and there's no real issues as far as that goes either. Our shank here is a 2-inch shank that fits into our 2x2-inch receiver tube, held in place by our anti-rattle bolt and this lock here at the end of the pin that is key to the lock for the cable locks that are included. If you were to leave this on the car in this state, it's actually really condensed, and I like that it doesn't block much on the back of the vehicle. License plate is pretty much entirely visible. Backup camera will probably be a little bit obstructed, but not fully, and your taillights are fully visible as well. Overall, I think the RockyMounts GuideRail is probably my favorite of this capacity. I think it looks sleek. I think the features are nice. If you were to compare it to anything, you can maybe compare it to the Kuat Piston Pro. It does have taillights that are featured on the rack if that's something that you need, and the pistons on it are just a little bit easier to use. But that was a look at the RockyMounts GuideRail on the back of our 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee.